Good evening. Let's wait like 5 minutes, right?
Okay, Lakshita. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Uh, it's a great pleasure to welcome you all to Code to Cloud 2.0, organized by the Country Society of University of Pennsylvania. Uh, this event is all about exploring the cutting edge possibilities of cloud technology, and today's focus is on one of its most crucial elements, which is storage. In a world driven by data, storage is just about keeping information safe. It's about enabling speed, scalability, and innovation. To guide us through this area, we are honored to have with us Mr. Virtusa, Associate Architect at Virtusa, who has expertise and industry insight into how AWS storage works in the cloud. So, please join me in warmly welcoming him, and I hand over the session to Mr. Gamage. Mr.
Okay.
Vajra Gamage.
Yep.
What do you?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Tevan. It's nice to meet you all. Today, actually, this is a third session, I believe. Yeah, third session. Indica started the session. It's a third session, and uh, one thing before I start, actually, it's something very important for me as well, because it's something I am most interested to giving some kind of a knowledge sharing with you all. That's something I'm willing to do in most of the cases. So I think it's good opportunity for me to, as a person who's interested, to go with this kind of sessions to the external people, because we do a lot of trainings within our company itself for most of the other areas. Actually, I'm coming from observability and SRE background with most of the. I mean, maybe you heard of all these things like observability and site reliability engineering. So I'm coming from that background, and quite uh, good experience in production support and working on a production environment, mainly Linux and Solaris based environment. And with the uh, cloud technology emerging, so we moved into the cloud technology as well. So I think this is something comes from that background here. Okay, let's start with today's session. So I think today we are going to cover storage, and there will be one more session for me next week. We'll be covering the database part as well. Today's session is for the storage. You all know about storage and how much important storage when it comes to a system. Okay, so because of that, so you having good understanding on storage is something very much important, and mostly with cloud storage is something we need to consider from the cost point of view as well, because so when we start using storages in cloud, so it start billing us when we how much we are going to use it in the cloud. So that's because of that. So having a better understanding and based on the type of the system that you are going to implement, So what storage types we have to select, that is something very much important when it comes to a system, because it's all depends on storage mostly. So all your data, all your application level files, everything comes with comes from a storage. Plus, how frequently you are accessing this data, how much important your response times and everything depends based on the type of storage that you are going to select. That because of that, it's very important to have good understanding about storage. Okay, so let's go with this presentation. So as part of the today's sessions, I'll be covering, because it's mostly not go with theory, but to have some kind of understanding, I'll take 15 to 20 minutes to go through the storages and what kind of storage we have in AWS. Actually, you can get all these things through Google. I mean, you can Google and get all the theoretical aspects of this. But let's have this first. If somebody is not aware of the storage and storage types and what we need to consider during storage selection, so let's go with these things, and then we'll move into a simple demo where we use storage and use it for our application implementation. Yeah. Okay. So mostly I'll be covering storage types and importance of choosing right storage. That's something we are discussing, and something on deep dive related to S3. Okay. So which is mainly part of my demo today. Okay. So rest of the things we'll go with that. Yeah. When it comes to storage, I think you all know about typical storages in your personal laptops, and but when it comes to cloud storages, storage comes with different. Categorized based on different aspects. Okay, it's all depends on how and what we are going to store in the uh, storages. So because of that, you can see many broad categories that you see here for the AWS storage. So when it comes to storage, we have object storages first. Okay. So usually it's very typical and very common in AWS where we use uh, S3 buckets, so simple storage services. So always we use S3 as storage mostly, but it's not always, but mostly we use storage. We'll discuss in detail later. Uh, Storage and block storage again, EBS Elastic Block Store. So we can use it for many aspects, and also file storages as well. Archival is again type of object storage, but depending on the purpose, we may go for a archival storage as well, where we don't want to spend a lot of money for that. Because, for example, let's say you want to keep your last 1 year data. Okay, there may be rare to access this data, but as a company policy, we need to keep 1 year data, or maybe 2 year, 5 year, 20 years. It depends on the company policies and the type of systems. Okay, so we want to keep a huge amount of data as a backup or archive, where we may not use forever, but as a policy we have to keep it. So we have to spend some money, but we don't want to spend a lot of money for that, like we spend for the histories. Okay, so because of that, we have different types for archive as well. And hybrid and data transfer, it's not a storage actually, a storage type for application, but mostly we use certain storage methods to like transferring, like for example, let's say you are migrating your data from one location, or maybe one system to another, or maybe you are shifting your uh, like maybe systems to different locations. So then there may be as a requirement to transfer data. So then AWS come up with certain aspects, certain services to transfer. Like for example, Snowball is one kind of implementation, the service they have introduced, they have different snowball services, snowball, the snowball edge, and they have snow mobile as well, where they can transfer data using specific equipment. Okay. So that way they have come up with certain services, but mainly when it comes to system development and implementations, they are mostly the initial ones that you can see here, listed here, uh, that will be mostly used with the systems. Okay, okay, let's go each category separately. Okay. So let's go with object storage. Usually we call Amazon S3 or simple storage service. Okay. Mostly this is I think you may understand what is fully managed. Okay. So when it comes to AWS services, we usually call fully managed services. Fully managed means AWS itself will take care of everything. Okay. So if we want to use it, we can purchase it or we can use it, but rest of the things related to a maintenance part, it's fully managed by AWS itself. You don't want to do anything, so it's a fully managed service in AWS. And scaling point of view, you can do any scaling. So depending on your requirement, you can do any scaling based on based on your application. So that's something specific to S3. It's fully managed, scalable object storage service. Okay. So usually object means you all know what is object. Okay. Data, metadata, key that can come as a bucket mostly. That's why we usually call S3 buckets. Okay. So it's a bucket we use to store objects there. Usually in typical database like your MS SQL or something, when you use things in a different way, not as objects, but in here it's used as objects. Is there a connection disturbance? Do you hear properly? I got a pop-up stating unstable connectivity. Can you hear
We
me?
can hear properly. We can hear you properly.
Oh, yeah. Good. Okay. When it comes to the features, you can see uh, S3 we use we usually say durability with 11 nines. Okay, so 99 point we have 9 11 nines usually. That's our durability for the S3. That means usually you imagine how much durable and reliable these kind of services. Okay, it's usually when it comes to systems availability and things, we call it as our system is available for 99.99% or maybe 99.99%. Okay, if it goes to 5 nines, that means it's a really good system. Okay, usually systems availability comes with maximum 5 nines. 99.999. That means it's a huge target for the people who's managing that system. But 99.9 is something I mean quite easy to manage, keep that availability target. But 99.999 means 5 nines is a very tough task for us to keep it. But imagine when it comes to S3, so S3, it has 11 nines. Okay, so there is no chance to have mistake, but it's a very rare chance. You can imagine that's a rareness, but it's very rare to have a outage in this kind of a system storage. It's 11 nines. Scalability, you can virtually unlimited storage. You can go up to any capacity based on your requirement. It says unlimited virtually it's unlimited storage. You can go as you want it. Okay. Security, usually S3 bucket comes with different encryption mechanism. You last week got to know about IAM. So based on the access identity and access management. Store S3 comes with, I mean, collaborate with IAM. So then you can create a lot of policies there to have security on S3 and bucket policies as well. So we can create different bucket policies. So even in my demo, I will be using one bucket policy just to keep data uh, update in a S3 bucket. Okay. And there are multiple storage class available here. You can see those things and lifecycle policies and replication. Okay. So other than that, you can see multiple use cases where we can use S3. Okay. Backups, archive, data lakes and analytics, static website hosting, application and log storage, content distribution with CloudFront. So all these are use cases for the S3 services. Okay. So that's something you can understand from the storage. But I took some time for this category because usually in most of the cases you can go into S3 uh, for your applications. Okay. So when it comes to block storages, Amazon have uh, many services with that. So mostly EBS is something you can use it. Okay, Elastic Block Store. So I think you have some familiarity on AWS. With the last week session, so you know how to create an instance, even all instance. Let me switch to that window first. Even you go into your instance, you can see all your instances, storages comes with EBS. Whatever the default instance that you create, and it has 8 GB of capacity associated with your instance. I mean, free tier I'm referring. Okay, some always referring free tier because you don't want to spend money for these things. Even for that 8 GB, they have assigned 8 GB using EBS. You can see this storage type, device type, it's EBS here. Okay, that's the usage of uh, that's the usage of EBS. So multiple purposes are there. So most keep persistent data. Persistent means if you want to keep it even after your instance shut down. Okay, if you stop your instance, even after that, your EBS will persist your data for the future use. Okay? So usually, other read-only memories video, it will get lost mostly. But EBS is a storage type. We can keep data persistent. Okay. So use cases you can see. Other things I'm not going to go through every points here. Uh, uh, One important thing, second point, can be at a detach and reattach. Okay, so EBS is a separate uh, service in AWS. Okay, it's a separate service. So if you want to detach from an instance, you can detach it and reassign because that again remain as a separate service. If you start store data in your EBS, that will run as a separate service. Detach from an instance means nothing will happen to your EBS. That will remain as it is, and then you can reattach that it with different instance even. Okay, that's another good I mean feature from a EBS point of view. Usually snapshot is something you can use it. I mean, if you want to keep a snapshot, like usually snapshot means a backup. Okay, you can keep you can use EBS for a snapshot. Okay, database application, any enterprise level workloads can be handled through uh, EBS. That's a use case. Next is Amazon Instant Store. Usually, this is a volatile storage we are referring. Once your instance bring up, so you have a memory available for your work, but soon after you switch off or stop your instance, this instance store will get deleted. Usually, it's like our RAM. Okay, so it's like cache memory, caches, buffers, temporary data. All this comes with instance store only. Okay, so that's another type of storage, but those are temporary or volatile memory you have. Okay. Next is file storage. So Amazon come up with multiple file storage, as you see in this slide. So EFS, Elastic File Systems, is something always we use in it when it comes to file storage. Okay? This is again fully managed scalable storage. Fully managed means it's all handled through AWS itself. We don't want to bother about managing EFS. Okay? It's a fully managed service in AWS, and we have a lot of uh, features as well. They provide shared access across multiple EC2 instances using NFS protocol. Okay, so if you use EFS for through many instances, you can access EFS. It's like a shared storage again. Okay. So next is Elastic. Automatically it grow and shrink as files are getting added and removed. Okay, it's again we call it as Elastic. Okay, so it depends on the you velocity of the uh, uh, storage. Okay. Highly available and durable. These are typical things. You can read it out. Even you can Google and find out features of EFS. But usually, when it comes to EFS, one thing it's a shared storage for multiple instances, EC2 instances. That's something you can keep in mind. Okay. Use case point of view, you can say content management and web serving. You typically it's a file storage. Okay, when it comes to applications systems, content management part, I think you may familiar with, or if not, when it comes to large systems, content or the front end application is handled through content. Okay. It's a different aspects when it comes to system development, content management. All the content management specific files you can keep it in EFS. Yeah, that's one of the good use case. And other than that, big data and analytic requirement, we can use EFS as well, because files are getting stored there. Because when it comes to big data and analytics, a lot of files from different systems stored in somewhere for the analytic purpose. Okay? So EFS is one of the type you can use it for big data and analytics. Okay? That's again uh, one of the feature. And next is EFX. There are the elastic file storage comes with different flavors in Amazon when it comes to different systems. Okay, it's based on the type of operating system or maybe type of system. You can see different flavors here. For example, Windows file servers. Okay, again, Amazon comes with different FSX storage type for Windows servers. And likewise, NetApps Open series FX. So all these file types comes with Amazon file storages. Okay, it's again different implementations based on the type of system. You can select different file stores. 1 minute, please. Sorry. Next is archival storage type. This is one of the important again when it comes to archival, because so any system you when it become old, your archivals are something you need to maintain, and in AWS it's something we don't want to spend a lot of money for that. Because of that, so they have come up with a different storage type called S3 Glacier. So the word itself, glacier, means it's like a freeze storage. Okay? So if you don't want to access frequently, usually backups or archivals, we don't want to access frequently. Day-to-day operational data is something we need to keep in a standard storages like S3. Okay, but archivals, it's not frequently accessed. Only, for example, let's say you want to restore some data. You have some audit where you want to go for a historic data. Okay? So in such a situation, you can request and get certain archival data, which is not real-time access. Okay? Usually, other data we may need to access in real time. Okay, just query it in the at the same time, and you can get the data that I mean real time. But usually Glacier, data stored in Glacier, you can't quickly or instantly access it. It's something you need to take some, give some time to access and restore data from a Glacier. So it take like minutes to hours, or maybe it depends on the cost you are going to pay. Okay. So that's something. But durability point of view, it's similar to the S3 S3 we had 11 digit 11 nines durability. Okay, it's very secure, and availability point of view, it's available. But only thing is it's not frequently accessed. We usually call infrequent access storages. Okay. Infrequent frequent access, we can't get data real time or instantly. Okay. We have to give some time to get data read from these storages. That's why we call it as glacier. It take keep it like a free storage. Uh, uh, but good part is we can keep data with very low cost, because we don't because it's like 80% of cheaper than standard S3. 80% cheaper than standard S3, because we don't access those data frequently. Okay. Mostly your archivals, any kind of archivals, you can keep it in S3 Glacier. Okay. So this is something you just want to understand only. This is not a storage type. Okay. So when it comes to hybrid and data transfer, there are different services available in AWS for your data transfers. Okay. So like for example, like if you want to connect your on-premise data to AWS, in such a uh, case, you can use AWS storage gateways. It's not a storage, but it's a gateway where we can connect on-prem data with your cloud applications. That's another service. And Snowball family is a storage types where you have Snowball, Snowball Edge, and the Snow Mobile, where you have huge capacity data can be transferred from one location to another location using a device. Okay, you can get your data copied from your source, and then you can transfer it to your destination. Okay, that's something uh, available in AWS. Okay. Uh, Next is about the factors. So why we have to select your uh, correct storage. Okay. First thing, performance requirement. It depends on your application performance, IOPS and throughput, what you are expecting from a system. So it's input and output operation. Yeah? If you expect, higher IOPS and throughput, your storage need to be support for that. For example, let's say Glacier is not something support for higher IOPS and throughputs because it requires time to read data from a glacier and take it back. Like it's take minutes to hours. So then your IOPS and throughputs are very low. But S3, standard S3 is something good for your higher IOPS and throughput. So that way, whatever the storage type you are going to select, it gives certain features for you. Okay, so it's always based on your IOPS and throughput. You will select your uh, storage. That means performance requirement. Then cost. Okay, so if you are worrying about your cost, then even though you want higher performance, okay, if you have a limited budget available, then you can't go for your maximum speed. Okay, so then you have to go for a relevant storage based on your cost available. Again, it's again performance and performance requirement related. If you want to have high durable and higher ones where you have to spend more. Okay. The access pattern again, if it's run or archival access, then you can go for the storages like Glacier for the archivals. Okay. That's something you can select. Compliance and security, that's again depends on your requirement, like because there are a lot of compliances. Okay, you can simply build a system and host and provide services. Okay, so when it comes to region, there are certain compliances where you need to adhere. Okay, so that for that certain requirements are there. For example, compliance and security encryption is something required in most of the cases. So then your storage type should able to enable encryption. So that's something you have to consider. That way, with a mixture of to host your or implement your application. Okay, that's something you have to aware. Any questions so far? Any clarification required? Because I'm moving into the demo now, where I'm going to use S3 for the demo. So anything you want to discuss here before I move into there? If not, okay. Today's demo is simply, it's a simple application. Okay, so I'm simply going to upload the file and store it in a S3 bucket. So it's not complicated application. I want to show you how these services are going to use it in a application. Okay, no matter whether it's a simple or complex application. Okay, so I'm going to use a simple Python application here. Okay, that is stored in a, I mean, hosted in a EC2 instance. Okay. From there, I'll be uploading a file, and that will go and store in a S3 bucket. Very simple. Okay. So how we are going to do that work is something important for you. No matter the application is very complex or simple, it doesn't matter for you. Just get an understanding how we are going to use these things. Okay. So so far, I believe you have familiarity on instances. Okay. So you can launch your instances. You can do something there. Okay. So uh, can somebody say tell me whether you have done this work before, launching an instance and connecting and do something on instances? Have you done that work? Anybody? Just I want a feedback. Have you done any instance creation in AWS? First thing, before instance, do you have a AWS account? Just raise your hand. Okay, I can see Lakshita is having one account. Yes. If you don't have, I don't think you are familiar with even instances. But okay, then I'll take few minute for that. Okay. Okay, Malindu, you have one. Okay. So mostly I because I expect that you at least you should aware these basic things. If not, I can take some time to explain as well. Yeah. Okay. So you did it in a first session. Okay. So you are free account creation, and then you can host your launch your free instances. Okay. Similarly, I even launch a free instance here. I just use it, call it as demo app, and this is what I am going to use it. Okay. So in this app, it's so you all can see the basic things for each instance. You have public IP that is not. It's not a. We can go, even we can go into a elastic IP, but this is public IP and the private IP. And rest of the things, maybe you are familiar with security groups. Okay. If not, I'm just giving you a simple understanding. Security groups enable you to access this instance. Okay. So you have inbound and outbound rules available here. Okay. So based on the type of request that you are going to send into the EC2, you can create relevant you can create relevant rules. Okay. So if the request are HTTPS request or HTTP request or any other TCP request, based on that, based on the port that you are going to make the request, you can control your incoming traffic. Okay. So that way you can do. Okay. For the easiness, I have done create a rule for all traffic. Okay. So you can control it, like this is one of the uh, Postgres related rule that I have created. I allowed traffic from 5432 port uh, that is related to my next week session. But I have allowed all traffic here. Similarly, for the outbound rules, I have enabled all traffic there. So then no control in this, security point of view, there is no security allowed here. So any incoming request or any outgoing request is allowed to uh, access or go move out. Okay, as per the current uh, security groups I have created, but based on your system's requirement, your security groups can be created according to the request that you are getting. That is one way of controlling your inbound and outbound traffic. Okay, that's something. So that's already created now. So two rules created that usually when your instance get created, these are with specific values. So if you want to allow these traffic, so you can simply you can modify the rule by going into the security groups, and then you can allow all traffic into there. Okay. This is for easiness only, but real systems, we have to come up with relevant security. Okay. So this is the instance that I have created. And then last week, there was one more session related to your identity and access management. Okay. Uh, Reagan has done that session. So there again here, so for this work on also, S3 mainly uh, it's a storage. You know how much security is required for storage. Okay. Usually S3 is controlled to IAM. Okay. IAM and the bucket policies. Okay. S3s are control or whatever the security you are going to impose, you can handle it through IAM policies. Okay. So mainly this is one of the this is my user. Okay, so I have one access key created, because if I want to run an application, okay, this access key is very much important for my account. Okay, uh, this is my user, and there was one question also. Indica asked me to explain. I'll take it even latter part of this session. The difference between root user and the users. Okay, I'll come into that. And also, this is my access key. So you can see. So you can keep two access keys. One thing keep in mind: access key will be created, and if you want to keep it recorded, you have to do it at the same time. You can download and keep it, but you can see there. But with this creation, there will be another key called secret key get created, that you have to keep it stored in somewhere for the later use. Okay? And also bucket the policies. Okay? So when it comes to S3, we have different policies to create. For example, if you want to put data into a bucket, S3 bucket, we have to have a policy created for that. Okay, so I have created one policy for that, that allows you to, okay, 1 minute. So I have created one policy for that, that allow you to put objects into the S3 bucket. So whatever the objects, because we are storing objects in S3, so put object policy is used to store data in a S3 bucket. So this is the object that I have created, and there is one S3 bucket created with the name of this. Okay, so I'll show these things, and I have created a policy for that. Okay. So you can see that policy here. So that is already defined now. Okay. If you want to do your own program, or for your implementation, you have to create a policy for that. If you want to read again, it's a different policy again. It depends on the transaction that you are going to use with your S3 bucket. Okay, so this is already done now. So I have already created. In IAM section, I have created my own policies, and I have already access key available now that I will be using in my application. Okay, so and also I have a bucket here. So I think you can simply, when you select S3 here, so you can get this S3 section, and then you can go into this. Okay. So that's how I have you came into this page. Okay. Uh, this is a Amazon S3 area with the features to create new buckets. If you have anything created, that you can see here. Okay, I already created one bucket here where I have used it for the policy as well. So this is the bucket that I am going to store my data. So the demo is based on this bucket. If you want to create a bucket, you can simply create a bucket from here. Okay. So once you click there, so you will need to give all the relevant data. So that will create a bucket, but that bucket you have to use it in your application level. So now I have created bucket. I don't have anything available here. Okay. So it's no object stored here, and nothing there. So then I'm going to store data in this bucket. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I have an application here. So let me go. Yep. This is my instance. I have launched an Ubuntu instance. Okay, this is a Ubuntu instance. In this instance, I have already created my I, uh, Python application for the uh, data upload. So I'm going to upload the file from my local machine to S3 that I have created. Okay. For that, actually, I have one template also. Let me two small index files just for a small index. So the front end application. Uh, this is a small application just to come up with a upload interface. Okay, this small upload, index file, HTML file. Okay, let's go into our upload file. Okay. This is our uh, demo application related file. So I have an application created here. Okay. This application is simply use, it's a Python application, and so we have certain Python objects used for this application. Okay, I think you all are familiar with certain, at least up to some level on Python development. Okay, uh, so one you need to keep in mind these locations, like the whatever the objects that I have created, I have put it into a S3 bucket object, and this is an important key that I have mentioned, my access key. Okay. Security is not much important in this program, but as a standard, I just put it. But this access key is important. Okay, so the whatever the I am user that I have, so I have access key, so that allow me to access my S3. Sorry, EC2 instance, and these are simple Python code where I am connecting to my S3 bucket. Okay, and small UI or the web, validations here related to my once I click my this is a in front end load section. Once you click on the application upload button, then you will be getting certain. You will be having certain verifications like in case uh, if you haven't uploaded proper file, then there are few verification. Otherwise, if the file is there, then it will get uploaded into the S3 bucket. That's the work. Work that I'm doing here. Just it's a simple application. Okay. Let's see how things are working now. Okay, I have executed my Flask application, and then once you go there, 1 minute. There is a restriction in our laptops. Actually, company laptops we can't access it through the usual internet. One thing, you also can help me to find out this now. Okay, so until my application get connected. Okay, I'm not going to upload any file through this machine. This uh, I want public IP. I connected to your laptop. I want you to try this application. So I want you to run this application from your machine. Hello. Look like I disconnected. Ne? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Actually,
can. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we
So from where I dropped.
just use sellers to try the IP address.
Okay. So now you go ahead and try this IP from your uh, okay, from your machine. I want you to upload a file from somewhere. Okay. I have just ping the IP and port. So just execute and upload a file. So then we'll see whether your files are getting uploaded into our S3. I will not upload anything from my machine. Yeah, I can see one file screenshot from one file got uploaded. Somebody has done upload from. You all can try from your local machines. I mean, from your laptops. So then we will get many files uploaded into this tree. And just check whatever the file you uploaded, whether it's visible in this screen or not. That you can check. Who has uploaded this file? Screenshot from today's date. So, yeah, we can see many files now. Okay. So I think so this covers my presentation for today. So if you have anything, so if you want to further upload anything, you can just upload it. Then that will visible here. But this is what I want to show you today. So it's about storages and how we can use a storage in a simple application. That's what my intention today. But based on your requirement, so you can do whatever you want using S3 or any other storage types. It depends on the storage type. And when your account is one thing, keep in mind, when your account is getting old, you will be charging for these things, even though it's a free no, mainly S3, it will start charging when you have something stored there, and even your application instance, I mean, your instance are brought down. It doesn't matter storage, it will start. But for others as well, even for the database, even you bring down, they they will charge slightly. Okay? They will charge slightly for that. Okay, and one more thing I want to say, there was one question from somebody asking difference between uh, root and I am user. Uh, Not sure whether the person who has asked that question is available or not, but just to cover up that question, just to answer that question. So usually root and I am users are the two types of users that we have in AWS. Usually when you create your account, okay? So when you create your account, there'll be a root user automatically get created for you. That creation will happen when the new account get created. Okay. Once you create the create your account, so you will have your own root user, and after that you can create multiple IAM users based on your requirements. So accounts are for like, for example, those are for, like, let's say if it's Virtusa, so accounts create for different programs, okay, or maybe projects. That's a common one. So then your root user will be for the entire account itself. Okay. So then that will be having, I mean, full access to your account. Even your billing data can be viewed to your root user, because it's a hyper, I mean, like it's a admin user. Simply, it's a different name here. Root user means you're typically an admin user. He has full, I mean, unlimited access to your account and can do anything they are allowed by the AWS. But IAM user is a typical user get created inside your account. Okay, this is my, okay. So if you go into this is my account. You can see my account here.
We can't see your screen.
Oh, wait. Am I stop it?
Yeah, when you disconnected.
Ah, wait. Let me share my screen again. Hope you can see my screen now.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you go into IAM, you can see users. Let me come based on who is going to access this uh, application. They will have less privileges, not like root user. Based on the access granted by the root user, they will have access. Even billing data, they may not able to access by default. But if root user grants some access to specific select to see the billing data, then they can see it. That means Typically, normal user and the admin user. That's the difference between root and the IAM user. Okay. Other than that, that's in general term, admin and normal users. That's the difference here for the root and IAM users. Okay. Hope it's clear for everybody. That was a question came. Indika asked me to explain about those things. Okay. Other than that, I think it's covered everything. So you know how to use it, how to use S3 now. Just try to do some exercises here. Because at the end of this series of sessions, we'll be having uh, some, I mean, like most like a kind of a hackathon that we are expecting you to implement something. So then you can implement all these things in your project. Okay. So get that understanding, the importance of these services, and then start do some small application and see how things are working. Because uh, some of these things even I explain you, show you, when it comes to the real hands-on work, you will come up with lot of issues. Okay. So you need to get you will get a lot of issues. You can need to troubleshoot things. Okay. That will learn only when you do things hands-on. I don't know to explain things. You are maybe second year or third year students. Okay. So you know how to do everything. Okay. So just go for that, try out, get your hand and then uh, come up with some solution for those things. Okay. Any other questions from anybody? Clarification, questions, if not to top, just come up if I